It's quite unsafe for a woman to live in this world. The crimes against them are increasing day by day. They depend on and truly believe the cops to save their lives. But what if the same cops become the predator? Do you think there are perverts in the police department? Are they more dangerous than the criminals? On number 3, we have Braulio Gonzalez.
On the wrong side of the law, accused of a despicable crime.
This veteran officer allegedly fondled a little girl, and that child is no stranger to him.
Braulio was a resident of Miami, dated and was a veteran police lieutenant. The heinous act took place in 2018 when he kidnapped and molested a child. The survivor was a child who was related to him. He took advantage of their family relations and molested the girl since she turned 8 years old. He continuously abused her for 2 years. At last, the survivor spoke out, and the real fact of Braulio was revealed. When the survivor was just 8 years old, Gonzalez took his gun and pointed it at her. She was then made to comply with his conditions, and then he kept on molesting her till her parents came back home. He threatened her several times after that to make sure she doesn't utter a word to her parents. The poor child was traumatized and she lived in fear till 2018. When the case was taken to court, it was revealed that Braulio used to take the girl to his home as well and made her strip down all her clothes before him. He then touched her private parts forcefully. Her screams were silenced by that television's volume, and she was mentally broken by this heinous act of this pervert officer. As the case continued in the court, another child came forward, speaking out about what Braulio did to her as well. She survived the perverted act of this veteran officer. He used to creep her out by watching her shower. She was only 9 years old at that time. Braulio showed aggression towards women in general. He attacked 3 of his ex-girlfriends. They all suffered severe physical injury. He used to hit them repeatedly and broke the nose of one of his ex-girlfriends. They all came forward after hearing about the case where he molested a minor. They were all happy that finally the world got to see the real face of Braulio. The acts of Braulio did not suit that of a police officer. He has to treat people with respect and make sure that they are living life safely. But instead, his predator behavior was shown to the minors. He targeted them and molested them for years. He held a 9-year-old girl at gunpoint and molested her brutally. When the decision of the court was declared, everyone was beyond shocked. They never expected Braulio to walk free. Well, he was not fully free, but the court ordered a house arrest that too paid leave from his job. The court turned a blind eye to his wrongdoing. He was overjoyed as he thought that he escaped the prison, but fate had another plan. After a long legal battle, Braulio got the punishment he deserved. He was sentenced to jail. He would serve life in prison. Braulio never expected to receive such a punishment. He thought that he could evade the law of the country and take advantage of many other children. None of his plans worked, and you can see the aggression and disappointment on his face. The prosecution lawyer Natalie Cinder called Braulio a dangerous person, and the world agrees with her. He could hurt a lot of girls if he roamed around freely with the power of a police officer. Braulio never apologized to the survivors. He had no remorse, and he stood there in court being proud of his deeds. He was given several opportunities to apologize, but he refused every single one of them. He didn't want to show that he regrets it. On number 2, we have the Timothy Sadler Jr. Polk County Police Department received a call from a mother of a 9-year-old to file a complaint regarding the inappropriate photos she found in her daughter's phone. The mother was beyond shocked when she found nude photos of a man in her 9-year-old child's phone. She wanted to file a complaint as soon as possible and find out the sender. The Polk County Department didn't have to spend time investigating, as they soon realized that the criminal they were looking for was one of them, but an officer of another department. They couldn't believe that such a person was working for the state to ensure safety. Well, he was not in his right mind and forced a 9-year-old to send her nude photos. What kind of police officer would say such a thing? Sadler met the child on an interactive online game platform. The Wolf was the game they played, and Sankey talked to her in the name of Jade, an 11-year-old kid. The poor child didn't realize the trap she was setting foot on. Sadler planned to get nude photos from her and threatened her to meet with him for a sexual encounter. He made a detailed plan step by step, and he just needed to work it out. He created multiple accounts and names to talk with the child and earn her trust. Apart from Jade, Sadler created a profile pretending to be a 31-year-old Jason. He talked to the child, introducing him as a close friend of Jade's father. The child believed him as Jay confirmed that it was her dad's close friend. The child didn't know that behind the screen, it was Sadler who talked to her and not Jade or Jason. Both these people were creations of Sadler, and they didn't exist in real life. Sadler slowly started grooming the girl. He talked through the account of Jade and told the girl that she has a sexual relationship with Jason and it's fun. The girl was uncomfortable at first, but believed the 11-year-old Jade. He started sending pornographic images to the girl from the account of Jason and started talking to get in a sexually explicit way. He thought that she would soon fall into the trap and meet up with him. The 9-year-old survivor started sending her nude photos, and Sadler was happy to see her falling prey to him. He stored all the images to use against her in the future. During this time, he was going to his office and acting as a good police officer. No one suspected him and everyone believed him to be this ideal man. They were all unaware of what he does behind his bedroom walls. The 9-year-old child's older sister found out about the sexually explicit texts and pornographic images Sadler sent her. She informed her mother. She called the police immediately. Sadler was arrested and fired from his job immediately. On number 1, we have Trevor Smith. Trevor Smith was working in the Washington State Patrol. He fell for the sting operation and was caught red-handed. In 2022, Trevor was looking for new prey. That's when he met a mother of 2 who was ready to go into an agreement with Trevor for him to have sex with her 2 children, who were only 6 and 11 years old. Trevor was so happy as he thought he would get 2 children to sleep with that too, with their mother's consent. The undercover female officer, who pretended to be the woman selling her kids, realized that Trevor was a pedophile. The Seattle Police Department wanted to catch pedophiles, and they made the undercover police officer place an ad. Trevor was interested in it and contacted the mother without knowing that it was a sting operation. During the conversation, the undercover police officer asked what he would give her in exchange for abusing her 2 children, to which Trevor replied that she could sexually abuse his 9-month-old son. The police department was shocked to read the text, as they can imagine all Trevor would have exchanged for his son. He was unfit to be a father and shows no mercy to his child. Trevor showed up in a hotel room and the undercover police arranged for him as he thought he would sexually abuse 2 children. He even came to the room with contraceptives, which shows that he was prepared to sexually attack 6 and 11-year-old children. Trevor was fired from his job and was sentenced to 10 years in prison, after which he would be released, but he will be under the supervision of the police for 15 years. Do you think this kind of police officer should be declared unfit for service? Should they be punished brutally? Let us know in the comments.
Hey, what the? Hey, no.
On February 12, 2023, Officer Kyle Howe of the Toledo Police Department detained and physically assaulted a couple without any apparent justification. Officer Howe spotted a speeding vehicle on the highway and pursued it with his emergency lights activated. After pulling over the driver, Mr. Romero, Officer Howe alleged that he was driving above the legal speed limit.
Good evening.
Good evening.
What's the hurry tonight?
Nothing. I just picked up my girlfriend from work.
Okay. Do you know how fast you were going?
75 maybe.
Okay. I did 77. You got your driver's license, insurance?
Yeah, I do.
Despite Mr. Romero's compliance in providing his identification, Officer Howe also requested the passenger's ID, although it was not legally required.
It's good.
Okay. Does she have an ID?
She does.
Sorry.
She might
You
not.
use my...
This is my son.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
I
You
just
don't.
picked her up from work.
Yeah.
Officer Howe asked Mr. Romero to step out of the vehicle, and he complied. Officer Howe noticed something fall out of the vehicle as Mr. Romero stepped out, and he proceeded to handcuff him, claiming it was drug paraphernalia. Officer Howe informed Mr. Romero that he was being detained, not arrested, and asked him about his marijuana use.
What's that, partner?
I'm not sure what happened.
Okay. I'm going to say you turn around and put your hands behind your back for me, okay?
Oh, really?
Yeah. 45 1 to 10. Alright. Is that comfortable for you or not?
The laws surrounding marijuana use in Ohio are complex, but possessing less than 100 grams is considered a minor misdemeanor. Officer Howell then requested Mr. Romero to undergo a field sobriety test, which he willingly agreed to. However, Officer Howell then arrested Mr. Romero for driving with a barred license, indicating that his license had been previously suspended. The situation escalated when Officer Howe aggressively grabbed Mr. Romero, slammed him onto the patrol vehicle's hood, and threw him to the ground despite no signs of resistance. And then another officer arrived and unlawfully arrested the passenger, Miss Jasmine. Dash cam footage captured Officer Howe's use of excessive force and false accusations against Mr. Romero. Despite Mr. Romero's retaliation against the unjust treatment, Officer Howe continued to assault him.
Stop! Pussy! Stop!
Baby, please stop! Baby, please! Why are you following me like that?
Miss Jasmine's arrest was also unjustified as she had not engaged in any wrongdoing. Both Mr. Romero and Miss Jasmine were ultimately arrested, but it is important to note that their violations of the law did not excuse the mistreatment they endured.
Going away from me and trying to kick me into this.
Why did you hit me and slam me on the ground that many times?
Following an investigation into another incident involving Officer Howe, he resigned from the Toledo Police Department. The incident highlights concerns about the excessive use of force and the violation of individuals' rights during law enforcement encounters. In another incident, a driver who had committed no wrongdoing and violated no laws was pulled over by an officer who falsely claimed that the vehicle's tag was expired. The officer's true intentions became evident when he asked a question unrelated to the traffic stop, implying potential phone use while driving.
And another question, you just turned that on, right? Like, you didn't have that while you were driving?
No, I just turned it on. Yeah.
Okay.
Despite the driver providing the necessary documents, the officer insisted that the expired tag was the driver's responsibility and proceeded to issue a ticket.
Just because it seems like a while, if the validation tag expired in December.
The driver repeatedly explained that the vehicle was a rental and that the responsibility for the tag's validity rested with the rental company.
Well, you call Enterprise. That's not my car. I don't know why you pulled me over.
However, the officer remained ignorant and refused to acknowledge the driver's explanation. To confirm his innocence, the driver requested permission to inspect the license plate himself, which revealed that the officer's allegations were entirely false. In a revealing moment, the officer admitted to running the license plate before initiating the traffic stop, indicating possible racial profiling.
That's
Enterprise. You're the driver.
No, that's not a problem. You call Enterprise.
You're the driver.
This admission exposed the officer's misconduct and further highlighted the unjust treatment faced by the driver. The incident exemplifies the officer's disregard for the truth and raises concerns about potential bias and abuse of power within law enforcement.
See, you tell me the plate is expired. Can I go see?
Hold on. Oh, that's my mistake.
No, that's your mistake.
That is my mistake.
Did you see because it's a black person?
No, stop it. No.
No,
Never.
come on. That's
Never.
not
I didn't even see who was driving the car. Look at the plates there.
Moving on to the next incident, a family was peacefully enjoying their time at a park when two police officers approached them without any apparent reason.
Hi.
What's up, guys?
The man recording the encounter immediately exercised his rights and requested the officers to identify themselves, which they complied with by providing their names and badge number.
How's it going? Who are you guys? Can you identify yourself, please?
When asked why they approached the family, the officers claimed that the family was yelling and screaming, an allegation that holds no legal significance, especially considering they were in a public park.
Please.
2301.
And you, sir?
Officer Weeks, Eagle Police Department.
Oh.
The family members calmly informed the officers that they were simply conversing and having a good time, emphasizing that their actions were not disrupting anyone else. However, the officers altered their allegations, now accusing the family of using profanity loudly, despite the fact that such behavior is not illegal.
I guess they're just yelling and screaming.
In response, the man recording the incident asserted his right to use profanity whenever he chose to do so. Recognizing that the officers had no valid reason for approaching them,
but we're just here enjoying ourselves right now.
the family members started to dismiss their presence. They indicated that they would pretend as if the officers were not even there.
So, my understanding, there's some cussing going on here.
I cuss, yeah.
There's a bunch of kids here, obviously. I don't think that's...
They're playing over in the playground. Yeah, of course I cuss. I cuss anytime I want to cuss. So if you don't like it, like, they don't like to hear what you want to say, then, I mean, you don't have to be here.
Just as it seemed the officers would finally leave the family alone, another police officer arrived on the scene, prolonging their presence. The family members, realizing the officers' persistence and unnecessary drama, firmly requested them to vacate their space and leave them in peace. Although the officers seemed dissatisfied with the lack of disturbance from the family, they eventually departed, realizing their attempts to provoke a reaction had been unsuccessful.
Oh no, I'm talking to my people right now. There's another one coming up right now.
In this terrifying incident, a young woman named Taylor Brown was subjected to harassment and assault by over 6 police officers without any apparent reason. On February 9, 2023, 18-year-old college student Taylor Brown was at the Normal Police Department in Illinois for an interview regarding a fire that occurred at her residence earlier that day. Despite waiting for the detective for around 40 minutes, Brown expressed her fatigue and requested to leave.
Okay, and we're going to seize your phone.
Why?
Because the fire's under investigation.
I need to know what my
So you can hand me the phone, or I can take the phone.
But I need to know what my phone's being. They're not telling me a reason why my phone.
I just did.
But you said it's under investigation, which I
So listen to me. The fire.
That's her phone.
So the fire is going to be under investigation, and your phone's going to be seized.
Is Shay?
Yes, everybody's phone's being seized.
The officers assured her that they would provide transportation back home. However, their promises quickly proved empty. 3 officers approached Brown, insisting on confiscating her personal mobile phone, claiming it was necessary for the ongoing investigation into the fire.
We're waiting for the detective, so the detective's going to seize your phone.
No one told me any of this.
Okay.
You told me that you were about to take me home.
Okay, so I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. So you can hang up. You can hang up the phone, and I can take you home. Yep.
So. No, they're not taking my phone and letting me leave. I don't know what I'm finna. It's 4 a.m. I can't go without my phone. Well, if I do the interview,
you can go do the interview, but your phone's going to currently be seized.
Can I talk to him first? Can he come down here?
Nope, we're not going to do that. So you can hang up the phone, or I'm going to take the phone. That's how this is going to work.
Oh, absolutely.
So
she said hang up the phone and they're going to take the phone because at this point I'm being threatened.
However, under the Illinois Criminal Code, there was no legal basis for the seizure of her phone, as Brown had not committed any offense related to the investigation. The officer failed to provide a clear reason for the seizure, escalating the situation unnecessarily.
Under investigation.
Don't ever tell me not to interrupt you and open this car.
So the phone's going to be seized, so in a second I'm going to take it.
I'm asking you. I'm
so
asking you a reason. I'm not being rebuttal. I'm asking you a reason.
So if you would like to talk to the detective, you can.
Why is my phone being seized?
If you would like to talk to the detective that is seizing it, you can. Do you wish to talk to him?
Yeah, but...
Do you want to give an interview?
Brown, aware of her rights, refused to hand over her phone and requested to speak with the detective. The officer denied her request and attempted to coerce her into compliance. However, they had no legal grounds to seize her phone without probable cause or a warrant, as protected by the 4th Amendment of the federal Constitution. Despite Brown's lawful refusal, the officers persisted, offering her the option to give an interview as if it were a condition to retain her phone. Brown asserted her right to have an attorney present and expressed her unwillingness to provide an interview.
No, I wanted to ask him why my phone's being seized, because she said she could take me home, but without my phone. That doesn't make sense. It sounds like...
So are you going to talk to the detective?
No, I need everyone to come and tell me why my phone's being seized, because no one told me this until right now.
At this point, 3 more officers arrived at the scene, bringing the total to 6, surrounding Brown, who had done nothing wrong.
So you not kick. Okay, push your legs out. Stop. Relax. Relax.
Mom, I'm not letting go. I promise.
Relax.
Mom, I'm not letting
Relax.
go.
We just want your phone. That's it.
We just want your phone.
They're trying to get me with no protection.
Taylor, no. No.
Stop kicking.
Stop kicking.
Mom, they're trying to get me.
Hey, Taylor, give me your hand. Give me your hand. Give me your hand. Give me your hand.
Taylor,
Turn her to
this way toward me.
Give me.
Roll.
Give me.
Roll.
Give me your hand, Taylor.
Which way we roll?
Give me your hand.
Ow.
I almost.
I'm gonna keep doing the pressure point until you let go. Let go.
Stop his hand.
Release your hand.
During the altercation, the officers forcibly attempted to take Brown's phone from her, leading to a physical struggle. One officer used pressure tactics near Brown's collarbone to gain compliance, despite her lack of criminal behavior.
I'm filing the case as soon as I get off this floor.
Let me move.
You all have no right. I came down here willingly because you're a black woman.
Get up.
Okay.
Hold on.
I want you to think about how you're doing another black woman.
Okay.
Where you go to
Relax. Relax.
You just put me in handcuffs and I came down here willingly.
Can you up here, double lock?
Hold on, let me
I
tighten them up.
came down here willingly. And y'all just okay with this, all of y'all. And you a black woman. You are a black African American woman.
Property. Oh, no, it's mine.
Where's the phone at? You're black.
Look at it.
All right, we're going this way.
They're white. I expect it from them. You're black, dude.
Okay, you also kicked me in the head, so.
You also, I came down here willingly because I trusted you. And look at what you're doing.
Are you willing to provide a statement or no?
The use of force by the officers was excessive and unjustified, considering that Brown had not committed any offense. Eventually, Brown was placed in handcuffs, and the detective informed her that her phone was being seized.
Do you want to provide a statement?
My detective, I need to talk to her. I need an attorney present.
You can, okay.
I need a lawyer.
You can take her to jail.
All right.
Take me to
Where's her
jail?
property?
Whatever charges you guys have.
You have resisting and aggravated battery of a police officer.
Oh my God! Okay, I'll do the interview.
You still have the charges.
I didn't aggravate you. You assaulted me.
Okay, so relax.
You assaulted me. I'm 18 years old and you assaulted me. Of course I'm aggravated. I wasn't resisting arrest. You didn't say that I was under arrest.
You're being arrested. I asked you, so listen, I asked you to provide your phone and you refused, okay? When you
you didn't give me a reason.
So, nope. I said your phone was being seized.
You
said
never gave me the reason.
Don't interrupt me. Don't interrupt me. I said your phone was being seized.
I asked you the reason.
Gave you several times
I trusted you. That's why I came.
You did not hand me your phone.
Brown, steadfast in her rights, requested a lawyer, prompting the detective to order her arrest. The officers charged her with resisting arrest and aggravated battery of a police officer, despite lacking any valid grounds for such charges.
Scared, hello, you would do the same thing.
Cups still have to be double locked if they weren't double locked back.
They weren't. Go ahead and double lock them.
Double lock them, I can't move. Are you guys serious right now? How are you gonna do this to me? I'm like, bro, I just got out of high school and you are scaring me.
Following her ordeal, Brown filed a civil lawsuit against the officers for violating her Fourth Amendment rights and causing physical and emotional harm. She seeks compensatory and punitive damages for the trauma she endured during the incident. Brown's mother expressed her concern, hoping that no other mother would have to go through a similar experience. The lawsuit is ongoing, highlighting the need to hold law enforcement accountable for their actions and protect the rights of individuals like Taylor Brown, who experience unjust treatment and unwarranted aggression from those sworn to protect and serve. In this case, a Good Samaritan's act of helping a crash victim resulted in his arrest by a police officer, leading to a significant lawsuit settlement. On September 22, 2019, Preston Sal and his companions came across an injured man trapped under a crashed motorcycle in Loveland, California. Mr. Sal and others rushed to assist the victim while emergency services were called. Officer Paul Ash from the Loveland Police Department arrived on the scene and began questioning Mr. Sal about the incident. Although Mr. Sal cooperated and provided information, Officer Ash insisted on further questioning and asked him to step away from the scene. However, Mr. Sal exercised his right to remain silent and refused to speak to Officer Ash as he was not a witness to the incident. Officer Ash, without legal authority, threatened Mr. Sal with arrest for obstruction if he continued to refuse. Under Colorado law, Mr. Sal's actions did not constitute obstruction.
Where is the bike at? Bike's parked on the blue side, yeah, the blue one.
Officer Ash proceeded to forcefully restrain Mr. Sal, leading to physical altercation resulting in severe injuries, including a dislocated shoulder, a fractured collarbone, and a torn rotator cuff. Despite knowing that Mr. Sal had no involvement in moving the motorcycle, Officer Ash still insisted on questioning and arresting him.
Okay, you might come and talk to me?
I don't know what happened.
Well, you pulled the bike
I'm
off
not talking
him.
to nobody.
Really?
These guys saw what happened. I did
Okay,
not
if you're not talking to anybody, you can leave. Well, you can leave. You're dismissed. We can't leave. We can't leave. I'm not leaving. Okay, then come and talk to me. No, I'm not going to come talk to you.
After the incident, Officer Ash's body camera footage revealed that another bystander had moved the motorcycle.
I'm not going to come talk to you.
Police officer, man. Just
I know.
Did you pull the bike? Did you pull the bike off him?
Come talk to him.
that's...
Did you pull the bike off him?
I did not.
Okay. You just told me you did.
Nothing to do with me.
Okay, you're free to leave.
Yeah, you're free to leave.
Confirming Mr. Sal's innocence. Paramedics on the scene examined Mr. Sal and recommended his immediate transfer to the hospital. He later underwent shoulder replacement surgery and experienced persistent pain.
What's his name? Preston. Preston what? You got ID on your boss? I'm gonna need an ID now. Okay. 177. I got an uncooperative witness. Come on over here. I need to talk to you.
Constitutional right. No.
I
don't want to talk to you.
You have to talk to me.
I don't want to talk. No, I don't.
Following the incident, Mr. Sal filed a lawsuit against the officers involved, alleging violations of his constitutional rights. The City of Loveland acknowledged that Officer Ash had violated department policies, but did not disclose any disciplinary actions taken against the officers.
I don't have to talk to anybody.
Okay, either you're going to sit here and talk to me, we'll just have a short conversation,
no,
or I'm going to arrest you for obstruction.
No, you're not. I'm not obstructing
you
anything.
are.
You're right here.
Okay.
I'm not obstructing that.
Sir, yourself, you need to talk to me.
I don't need to talk to you. I'm not obstructing anything.
You are under arrest for obstruction.
I'm not obstructing it. I want to talk to your fucking supervisor.
You're here?
Yeah.
I need statements from the guy in the blue plaid shirt.
Okay.
The guy in the black Eagles thing.
Okay.
He was the one who moved his bike over there, or was moving
Yeah,
it.
the Eagles jersey moved it over there?
Yep.
Okay. Ambulance ain't taking me? Nope. Since you're in custody, you're gonna go with me. Okay? Well, I don't know why I'm in custody, so here's what we're gonna do, okay? I'm not going anywhere. Perfect. So let me explain to you what we're gonna do, okay?
My shoulder's fucked up. There's no reason that out.
Slammed to the ground. That's all I know. So let me explain to you what we're gonna do, okay?
My shoulder's fucked up. There's no reason that out.
Slammed to the ground. That's all I know.
In January 2021, Mr. Al's excessive force lawsuit was settled for $290,000. However, no recorded action was reported against the officers involved, and the city stated that the settlement did not imply an admission of guilt. This case highlights the unjust arrest and excessive force used against an innocent individual who was simply trying to help a crash victim. Despite the lawsuit settlement, questions remain regarding the accountability and disciplinary measures for the officers involved in the incident. Now let's move on to our next case. In this case, a man was arrested for wearing his motorcycle helmet inside a Walmart store, leading to a subsequent lawsuit. On August 6, 2019, Freedom Christopher Fandler rode his motorcycle to a Walmart in Sahuarita, Arizona. He entered the store without removing his helmet and was listening to music through wireless headphones. A store manager attempted to get his attention but failed. The manager then called 911, considering Mr. Fandler's behavior suspicious. Meanwhile, Mr. Fandler continued shopping and was approached by 3 officers from the Sahuarita Police Department. They demanded his ID without explaining the situation. Initially, Mr. Fandler didn't respond due to his earphones, but he eventually complied. He provided his ID and asked the officers what was happening. The officers claimed that the store manager had asked Mr. Fandler to remove his helmet, which he allegedly ignored. Mr. Fandler explained he kept his helmet on for convenience and provided proof of his purchases with a receipt. While reviewing CCTV footage, it became evident that the store's manager claims were inaccurate. He had approached Mr. Fandler only twice and from a distance, contradicting his earlier assertions.
Hey, bud, you got an ID on you? What's up? You have an ID on you?
Nevertheless, Officer John George confronted Mr. Fandler in an unnecessary aggressive manner, threatening him and violating his First Amendment right to free speech.
Yeah, man, he asked you to take your helmet off while you're walking around in the store and you're just ignoring him. Dude, do me a favor, take your helmet off. You're not going to speak with us with your helmet on. Okay. Take your helmet off. Sorry? Would you make a purchase? Yeah. That's fine. I'm shopping everything, man. Yeah.
Mr. Fandler chose to remain silent after Officer George's behavior.
So he said that he had music playing in his helmet.
I walked right up to the like I'm talking to you right now. Stood right there.
Okay. So did you see the manager basically walk up right to your base and ask you to take off your helmet? How did you not see that?
I saw him talking, but he's got a headset on.
Standing right next to you. Right next to you. I came up and I said, sir,
I thought you were going this way. I didn't hear you.
I said, stop. I followed you halfway throughout the store.
Let me ask you something. What's the purpose of keeping the helmet on?
It's just faster to get to work, man. Like I said, I'm on my way to work.
Where do you work at?
Work at Jim Click. Right
Okay. So you walk through the store, what'd you buy?
I bought a sandwich, a Gatorade, 2 peaches, a scrubber, 4 pens, a toothbrush.
Despite his silence, the officers and store manager continued questioning Mr. Fandler. Eventually, the officers arrested him for disorderly conduct, and he was detained for over 17 hours before the charges were dropped.
So you keep the helmet on, you walk around,
I do that
grab
at
all
the
this
Safeway,
stuff.
I go to the other Safeway, I go Fry's. Except for when I go to the bank, I've never had any issues where I was like, take it off, or a sign saying that you need to have it off. And like I said,
that's why the manager asked you to take it off.
Like I said, I didn't hear him. I had music playing throughout the
Okay. You didn't see him standing right in front of you.
I saw you there, and then I saw you talk, but like again, you have a headset on, so
I can't put my hands on you to get your attention. I'm standing right next to you. Just like I'm standing here with the officer.
I didn't see you come next to me.
I stood right in front of you, just like I'm standing here. I said, I need you to stop and listen to me. You don't ignore me and kept watching.
Mr. Fandler filed a lawsuit against the Samarita Police Department, alleging illegal search, false arrest, malicious prosecution, and defamation. Initially, Mr. Fandler offered to settle the case for $250,000, which was rejected.
You're an argumentative person, and I am not the person you want to argue with. You need to take a stand and you need to go like this and pull your head out of your ass, okay? Because you're walking around in the store hiding your face. There's shooters that go on all over the place. This man comes up to you and you want to play, you got a little Senna headpiece going on that you can't stop. You need to listen to learn, not listen to reply. You need to turn that little switch off in your brain that you want to run your mouth and argue every time somebody tells you something. Because this is disturbing the peace. You can go to jail and not go to work. So what's the choice you're going to make, hardhead?
The town of Samarita and the police department denied any wrongdoing and planned to dismiss the lawsuit.
You gonna quit walking around businesses with a helmet on, scaring the hell out of people to where you got massive cops all over the place, rifles outside waiting for a shooter to come out? Laugh. Yeah. But that's where we're at. So pull your head out of your ass and quit arguing every time somebody tells you something. I'm telling you, look at what you're doing. You keep wanting to argue with me. I'm not the guy you want to argue with.
Wasn't trying to argue.
That's why you keep talking. Stop talking.
Okay, fine.
Officer George was later fired for unrelated reasons. However, Mr. Fandler's attorney refiled the lawsuit, aiming to obtain justice and rectify this practice.
Okay, so officially being trespassed from the store, don't come back to Walmart. Come back to Walmart, manager, anyone sees you, you get arrested for that. How many times did you ask him to leave?
At least 5. It's like he's ignoring you. I walked half the store with him, following him right to the side to ask him. I told many times that officers were coming out. They just kept walking. I would say so. I'd say we'll get you break. Why not?
So,
especially if it's current behavior. You guys in that old pizza store 5 or 6 times. Walk right next to him, just like we're walking right now.
You were told to leave the store, and you didn't want to go take my jacket off. No, I want you to leave your jacket off.
As of the present, the outcome of the lawsuit is still pending. The case highlights the infringement of Mr. Fandler's rights and the potential consequences of false arrest based on misunderstandings.